welcome everybody to Season 2, Episode 4 of our Stu and Coco podcast. And obviously we're running our Inspirational Business Leader Award awards coming up until Christmas. And for Episode 4, I'd like to welcome Jim Ward. Welcome, Jim.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. Jim, for everybody who doesn't know, is a director for PIP, one of London's leading building services, mechanical electrical subcontractors. And actually, Jim, as a business, we've worked with PIP for a long time and always been thoroughly impressed with the business and been very, very pleased to represent you guys. But tell us a bit more about PIP recently, maybe some project wins, anything exciting that you guys have been doing.
Yeah, of course. Well, as you said, we're an MEP company, currently turnover about 50 million, predominantly work within London and the South East. We've had some really nice recent project wins. We picked up Diageo with ISG at 16 Great Market Street, which is a lovely project. You can see from the visuals that it's going to be beautiful when it's finished, high end. It's not without its challenges, but that's going to be a real nice project for the websites, and nice. Ultimately the client is going to, you can see, he's going to have a really decent product there.
Did you see the Johnny Walker hoarding proposal?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you get away with it?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so we've been very fortunate over the last few months that we've sort of been able to secure some works with Canary Wharf, Teleash Europe, and Knight Harwood. So we're very fortunate in that we've maintained our order book, and it's been good,
Fantastic.
Yeah. So predominantly we work in the Cat A and Cat B markets, infrastructure and data centres, with focus on quality, and by providing a quality product, and we try and be proactive and flexible, friendly staff, and give people a very, very quality product, standardised throughout, so that all of our installations look the same and are delivered in the same way and manner by professional people. We retain a lot of our staff at all levels within the business. Effectively, they're stakeholders in the business. They represent us at every level, whether it's at site, project management. We're invested in our people, because what they produce for us ultimately gives us repeat business, and we're totally reliant on those guys delivering this service for us. And we hope that the product, the way it's delivered, sets us apart from our competitors. We feel it's a unique selling point, and we hope that our reputation and repeat order book sort of evidences that.
Yeah, it's testament to it.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting, as you've said, when we talk about your staff, longevity of staff, and the importance of those stakeholders. We're going to come on to Mark Ashworth, aren't we? Who is your nomination for Inspirational Business Leader Award, and tell us a little bit more about Mark Ashworth.
Mark's an incredibly enthusiastic and passionate individual. He's our QC manager, and obviously coming out of lockdown, during lockdown, trading through, personally I've got to say, I've got a lot of gratitude for all of our staff at every level, from especially the site-based project managers, the site-based foremen, and all of the installers. They've done a great job for us in difficult circumstances, and an absolute credit to the company. So it's very difficult to single out one individual, but someone who really helped and brought a lot of those people together and enabled a lot of communication and feedback to us was Mark. And Mark tirelessly was searching for PPE when it wasn't available. At one point, during March and April, things like latex gloves, hand sanitizer, masks. Though it seems like a distant memory now, you couldn't bulk buy that stock. Although it sounds mundane, you might spend 2 days sourcing these different components from like 20, 30 different places, whatever, and like what he was doing for us as a business was essential, and he also very much put together and kept pace with construction leadership guidance and government guidance, and basically worked up a system with the directors and the staff, methods of risk mitigation that we could put in place to enable us to continue working to meet our clients' requirements, and also the requirements set out by the UK government, which was for construction to stay open where possible. You know, it was a period that was quite difficult for us because there were some moral conflicts, and we wanted to make sure that our staff were safe and that we were undertaking our work in a safe manner. But at the same time, you know, we were under contracts, legal contracts, legally binding contracts. There wasn't a lockdown, specific lockdown for construction.
Yeah.
And so we were in a period of time and situation where we're very much trying to make it work for everyone, make it work for our people, make it work for our clients. And we found it was a real, you know, one-size-fits-all solution wasn't really there. So Mark was very, very helpful in managing that through, and you know, he worked hard.
Didn't he take what impressed me about in our previous conversation, Jim, is that he by the sounds of things, he took a collaborative approach, sort of a grassroots piece, where he dealt with a lot of the concerns of the men and women on site. He evolved that communication upwards and effectively pulled it together into a new policy, which I think has been extremely successful. Because I know you were talking about kind of pre-March symptom rates at circa potentially as high as 20% on your sites.
That's correct, yeah.
Tell us what happened after his innovative drive.
Yeah, so when we put our measures in place, and really we were sort of back wholesale come to the 23rd of April. Since then, we've had no confirmed reported cases.
Wow.
Which is remarkable. It's remarkable. But you know, there's a lot of initiatives that we took on board that maybe some other people would not do. You know, we were basically encouraging people to use their own transport, subsidising their transport, avoiding public transport. And I think as a business generally, you know, behaviour and cultural behaviour, in this instance we're talking about safety. Generally within the business, there's a lot of benefits for us through consultation with the people who work on site. You know, we can have an idea and put a method forward, but really the people that work at grassroots and are doing it day in, day out have a lot of information which is very useful to us, and getting that feedback and seeing other options is really useful. And you know, like when you start having that dialogue with people, you know, you can apply it to every part of your business, and only good things can happen.
Yeah. And I think what we said, Jim, is, you know, the proof is in the pudding. You've got a situation that over the last nearly 5 months, you've had 0 cases on site.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. So I guess a big well done to PIP, and a very big well done to Mark Ashworth. Now, if this podcast gets the most likes and shares coming into Christmas, where would that money go? So in terms of our £1,000, where would that £1,000 go? Who's your sponsored charity here, Jim?
Well, our charity is a charity called Small Steps. They're based in Richmond, and they're an independent charity that helps physically disabled and physically disabled children and children with motor neuron diseases, or disorders rather. And they practice something called inductive education. And they work with children aged 0 to 5. And effectively what they do, they teach children with with physical problems, how to be more independent. They basically break the things that you and I or a healthy child might take for granted into very minute, basic building blocks. And from that, they build the children up, both physically, mentally, socially, and they provide a space for children that many children, you know, they wouldn't normally get that opportunity, even on a social level. And I get the impression as well that it's something that the parents participate in. They get to learn a lot of skills which they can then apply with their child and work on at home. So effectively, it's a form of training, and it's something that they can take forward the rest of their lives and teaches them some independence. I currently work with 70 children, and you know, it's the thing I like about this charity is you can really see it's not bureaucracy, it's not an administration-based thing. It's not title. You can really see
getting to the nub of the problem.
Every pound that gets put in, you can see a direct action. And you know, if they were able to help more people, I've seen it in practice. I've got no doubt that this really does benefit the individuals involved. Life-changing. If you want to change someone's life, put a donation to Small Steps, because it will definitely do that. It will change entire families' lives.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, just to recap, Jim Ward from PIP, thank you very much for your time, and for all of those liking and sharing this podcast. You know, our best wishes go to Small Steps, Conductive Education, and all of those kids, and hopefully more that will be helped. Thank you very much, Jim. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tony. Cheers.
Pleasure.